Welcome to Mingola. Ready to put your logic to the test? Here are 4 clever riddles, and you'll have just 5 seconds to solve each one before the answer is revealed. A wealthy businessman was devastated when his young son was abducted. Soon afterward, the kidnappers delivered a ransom demand. They instructed the father to bring a valuable diamond to a public telephone booth located in the middle of a busy city park at a specific time. Rather than complying alone, the businessman immediately contacted the police. Believing they had an excellent opportunity to catch the kidnappers, officers discreetly surrounded the park. Detectives dressed in plain clothes blended in with the crowds, while additional teams watched every entrance and exit, confident that anyone attempting to collect the diamond would be identified and followed. At the appointed hour, the businessman arrived at the telephone booth and carefully followed the instructions left by the kidnappers. Despite the extensive police operation, the diamond disappeared exactly as planned. The officers watched helplessly. Although they had secured the entire park, they had no way of preventing the ransom from reaching the kidnappers. Question: how did the kidnappers receive the diamond without getting caught? Hint: the kidnappers were never inside the park during the ransom drop. This mystery is based on a true story from Taiwan. Don't think high-tech, think old school. When the businessman entered the telephone booth, he found a live carrier pigeon waiting inside a small cage. Attached to the bird was a note instructing him to place the diamond into a small pouch fastened around the pigeon's neck and then release it. As soon as the pigeon took flight, it soared high above the city, far beyond the reach of the officers, and instinctively returned to its home loft, where the kidnappers recovered the diamond without ever setting foot in the park. For weeks, Jim had been planning his escape. He studied the prison's routines, memorized the guards' patrol schedules, and patiently waited for the perfect opportunity. Then, one night, he made his move. Against all odds, Jim managed to slip past the guards, breach the prison's security, and disappear into the darkness. Shortly after his escape, as the authorities were coordinating their search, the prison received a phone call. It was from Jim. With a smug laugh, he told the authorities he was relaxing at a local tavern just a few miles away, a popular spot frequented by many off-duty prison guards. The authorities were both embarrassed and infuriated. Yet, surprisingly, they made no attempt to bring him back into custody. Why didn't they arrest him? He had been hired by the state to test the security of a newly built prison. Posing as an inmate, his job was to identify weaknesses in the prison's security system by attempting an escape. A pilot suddenly found himself in a life-or-death emergency. With only moments to act, he searched the unfamiliar landscape below for somewhere to land. 2 fields caught his attention. The first was large, flat, and completely open, perfect for an emergency landing. The second was rocky, uneven, and filled with grazing cattle. Most pilots would have chosen the first field, yet he deliberately chose the second. Why did the pilot ignore the safer option? Hint: was the man a military pilot? Yes. Was the man flying during wartime? Yes. The pilot was flying a military mission through an active war zone. He had been trained to look for grazing livestock, because they were a strong indication that the ground was free of landmines. If hidden mines had been buried in the field, the animals would almost certainly have triggered them while grazing. The smooth, empty field may have looked safer, but it could have been deadly. Daniel was thrilled when he accepted a job in a new city. On the day he moved, however, something unexpected happened. Within minutes, traffic on one of the city's busiest roads came to a standstill. Cars backed up for hundreds of meters, impatient drivers began honking their horns, and the morning commute descended into total chaos. Strangely, Daniel never stepped outside his home, not even once. How did he cause such a massive traffic jam without ever leaving his home? If Daniel had moved on a different day, would his move still have resulted in a traffic jam? Yes. Did Daniel need to pack anything before he moved? No. Was Daniel living in a traditional-style house? No. Daniel's home was actually a houseboat. As it was being moved through a canal, a drawbridge had to be raised to let it pass. The raised bridge blocked a busy roadway, bringing traffic to a complete halt.